I always like this new intro music. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Stubbs here from Retro Handhelds. You are back at it with us for another week of fun with the Retro Handhelds podcast, joined by my exemplary co-hosts, Rob the Retro Tech Dad.
Hi, everyone.
Aish Talks Tech.
Hey, everyone.
And the legendary producer Ban. Look at him in all of his glory.
Ban.
Hello. I
Just
didn't know
wanna give him
Amish people had computers.
Just want to give him a little tickle.
Oh. I'm not
guys.
sure about that one.
How you guys doing?
Tired. As Chiggy says.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel sick. I feel tired. I feel jet lag still a week later. But I feel excited.
Do we need to just get like a Garfield poster for like Mondays?
Yeah,
like
are we just old men? When do we stop and just
Monday.
admit that we're just old men and stop saying like, oh, we're tired? Like, this is just the status quo now. This is the new normal.
I refuse.
Start yelling at clouds.
Band is not tired, though.
Hey, guys.
I'm not tired yet.
In my defense, I did fly around the world like there and back in a week. So
He time traveled.
I held on.
Hey, man, that's crazy. 2 generations ago, it would have been like a different group of people that arrived. Like, you leave, your kids show up for that type of trip.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they even showed up.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
unhinged. Where is the W neck, Stubbs, for your nubs? Okay, so I did an Odin 2 mini live stream the other day, just off the cuff. I was very bored and wanted to talk to people, and I said, I need to make my Odin video, and people can just watch me make that if they want. And so this gentleman was in there saying about a W neck. He sent me the video afterwards, and apparently the W neck is like literally like a W you cut into your shirt, and it's like a double V neck if you really want to be douchey. And I guess just show you see the bottom of the nipples. So that's where that's about. That's what that's.
Just wear a stringer.
I don't think it's for me, but I definitely appreciate the thought.
If you cut a W, wouldn't the middle part just kind of flop forwards?
I think they must have taped it. I think it was a joke. Like I think it was a sketch.
You should talk to a doctor about that, man.
It doesn't sound right.
Yeah. You're too young for that, man.
How's live chat doing? Everyone feeling good? How about people listening at home? You feeling good? It's probably Thursday for you.
We had a week off.
I missed you guys too. Yeah. Was it weird? Was it weird being off for a week?
It was.
It was really weird.
Feels strange.
It didn't feel right.
What did you do at 6 p.m. PST?
I'm pretty sure I was working on a video.
Unforgivable. No, you have a new Odin 2 mini video that just dropped a few hours ago, which we're going to feature in the stream. And I know you put your heart and soul into it, and it's your longest video ever. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think it's tied with the Odin 2, which of course that's kind of funny. So yeah, just happens to be that way. Yeah, very fitting.
So what he's saying is he just like reposted the same video pretty much,
and then just added a little bit.
Yeah, he just kind of zoomed away to make it look smaller.
I'm excited for your video, Rob, but don't listen to these yokels. It's gonna be.
I love Rob's videos.
Gonna be good.
Hey, I already started watching it, unlike you.
No. True. I haven't seen it yet, so you guys are ahead of me.
Well, now I can watch everyone else's videos because I always wait. That's the whole thing. Like,
mine's 3.5 hours, but I'm going to do I'm going to cut it down though I'm using that footage to cut down into my video to release. So thanks everyone who stuck around for 3.5 hours to watch me make my video. Kind of a fun process, cool. Kind of maddening, but it was good. Got to tell some fun stories. and only shared a little bit of gameplay. So sorry about that. We'll do that. I'll add more of that into the long video. All right, so we have a packed show tonight, but I didn't want to stack us with too many topics, so I purposely left some stuff, custom firmware stuff, we're going to move to next week because Computex had too many reveals. We have a giveaway. We're going to go hands-on tonight with the M19, which...
Cyclops.
The Cyclops we've been affectionately calling it. And we're going to take a look at this. It's $50, $33.26, and it's interesting. So
wow, those buttons look tasty.
I have thoughts about it, so we'll talk about that. And we're going to do a quick sort of thoughts review roundup on the Mini, the AYN Odin Mini 2, the which, by the way, definitely fits my nubs, and as well as the RG Cube from Anbernic. Oh, what? Oh, Dad. Oh, stop it. Oh, you make me blush. You put nubs on your... People are using them. There are dozens of us. Dozens.
Yeah.
Aish is a little... Aish is feeling the lack of love from AYN this week.
I'm getting the FOMO right now bad.
He doesn't have his review unit. So Nicole, AYN folks who had influence at AYN, please send Aish a review unit because he'll make a way nicer video than I will, like a way nicer looking video, just the best looking video. So
don't make me start spamming the Discord like crazy.
You will be the most awake in this video.
Spam ping every hour on the hour. Send Aish a unit. He's the one that you want. You want it 24 FPS, nice slow B-roll across the handheld.
I had to stop using 24 FPS.
Are you making people upset with your 24 FPS with your
I'm doing 30 now. I was willing to compromise. I'm doing 30 now.
You should meet in the middle, fair. 26.
Just 4 screen tearing the whole review.
I can respect it.
I'll do it in 4:3 at 24 FPS.
If you're going for 4:3, why not just stretch a little bit 5:3?
No. It has 1:1. I'll do a 1:1 aspect ratio review of the Odin Mini.
Finally, a video I can watch on my boy Hom.
Oh,
exactly.
That's totally up.
All right, listen, you boy Homs. Listen, you boy Homs. Let's move on to the news. Should we do it?
I guess.
All right. First up, just a quick thoughts roundup of us fellers here on the RG Cube. So I put up my video. God, I don't know. I've been in a time warp a few days ago, I think. And Jelanimal got his and left his thoughts on it. Now, his didn't have the light bleed at all. Mine did. It drove me a little bonkers, but it wasn't a deal breaker. But I need to fix mine. I need to open it up, release the tension against the screen with loosening the screws, and then I'll be happy with it. His didn't come with it because apparently they fixed it in retail units, and he might have the retail unit because he got it after me. So the rumor is that, yes, the light bleed is fixed. And also, he was having an issue with Google Play Store, but I was not. So there you go. There's variances between these units. How about you, Rob? What's your thoughts?
I have not opened mine up yet, and I'm actually going to be doing that probably after this stream.
Well, okay, you're useless to us right now. Thank you, sir.
but I will say one thing. I have seen the reports about the backlight bleed.
Well, we want to know if yours has it.
I'm thinking the black one was added later on in the rotation in terms of color. So do you think Anbernic picked up on that and then sort of quietly fixed it on the black, but just left the other ones alone? Or
I mean, I don't know which is true yet. We did get a picture from the Gamma Squeeze showing units at the factory, I guess, where they had fixed the issue, showing just a bunch of units in a row with the light bleed fixed. And so they know about it. Whether it's just fixed for the black SKU or not, we just don't know yet. We'll see when they arrive on doorsteps. But hey, Crystal. Hey, everybody. Yes, we still exist. We're still a podcast. We still are making this show happen. And so anyways, Rob, we'll be interested to hear if yours has it or not. So don't want to spoil your footage.
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely post
unboxing, but we want to see
on Discord as well.
And, Bane, did you get yours yet?
Yeah, mine came in today.
Have you? Does yours have the light bleed?
Yeah, I think Rob's seen it, and I think he looked at it and said, "Oh no."
Dang. Okay, so you got which color? You got the white, plastic one. Okay, let's take a look at that bad boy. I was I was in general pretty hyped on this for what it is. I'm just still coming to grips with 1:1 aspect ratio for things like PS2 and GameCube. I just had never really thought.
I think
There you
can
go.
see it.
Oh yeah.
I had
Oh, it's
never-
pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
That's about how mine is. I can never
Up
really
here, up here.
never really thought about PS2 and GameCube on these 1:1 screens. So I'm getting used to it, but I like
Wow.
the weight, the balance, and yeah, Ban, you got some intense light bleed on yours, sir.
Yeah. It sucks because it's actually super comfortable. It's a super comfortable.
comfortable.
Device.
Does this mean that PowKiddy shipped a device with less issues out of the box?
So far, I think
Maybe.
with the Square devices, they've had the least issues out of the box.
Aish, what do you think so far?
It just showed up, so I have to go pick it up tomorrow morning. But I've been looking at a lot of to like what you can do with that screen because it is kind of weird. But for the most part, for like you said, GameCube and PS2, I'm just treating it as a 3.5-inch screen because that's pretty much what it's going to be for the systems that are really going to use that 4:3 aspect ratio. For the other retro stuff, I think you can get away with running it an 8:7. If you look at like older TVs, not every single TV or system was actually running 4:3. So there was some other kind of funky aspect ratios that you can still kind of get away with, and the slight stretching won't be too bad if you really want to fill up that screen. But for me, yeah, it's just going to be a 3.5-inch PlayStation 2 and GameCube system, kind of like an upgraded version of, let's say, like the 405M, or actually no, like a mixture of the 405M and the 35XXH. I hate these names; they're so long. But I'm just kind of looking at it as
Favorite
like
nicknames are
it's
the
an-
worst.
exactly like it's an in between for those systems. Definitely not something you would ever want to get for like PSP or Switch or stuff like that. But for the other stuff, you can make it work. And one thing I am pretty excited for with the 1:1 screen on such a powerful chip is being able to use better shaders for stuff. Like I don't know if you guys have seen like the new like Game Boy shaders that are available on even like the RGB20 SX.
Yeah.
They look ridiculous. They look like you're using the real thing. It's crazy. So I want to run it on that. And one thing I've been kind of playing around with, because we don't have native Pico 8, is actually running Pico 8 games with shaders, because they are modeled after like the 8-bit era of games. So those pixels, if you throw on a good like CRT shader over those Pico 8 games, they look really good. And there's just something cool about looking at modern mechanics with an old, mixed with an old game and running it with that type of image, thanks to RetroArch. Whereas if you're just running natively, you can't really do that. Native would be better, and there's workarounds for that. I think Aiden did a whole video about how to get WinLater to run the Pico 8 system, I guess not even emulator, natively in Android. But running RetroArch with it has been pretty cool. Of course, I haven't done it in that one yet, but I've done it with like some other handhelds like the 556 and those.
Right.
So
and
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
No, that's good. Okay. And separately, are you and Russ in a fight right now? Apparently he did your tape mod.
No, so as soon as I figured that one out, he was one of the first persons that I told, because I figured, you know what, I can make a short video on this, and well, am I really gonna have time? Because as you guys know, these last couple weeks have been kind of crazy on the real life side of things, so I haven't been able to keep up with videos as much as I want to.
Yeah.
And he said, oh yeah, I might, if it works out, I might do a video on it. And I was like, dude, go for it. Like if you do a video on this, a bunch of people are gonna see it.
It's gonna be
And
it helps everybody.
Exactly. So of course not. And I'm glad Russ did it and that he liked it. That was the biggest thing for me, because as soon as I started playing with this thing, which I've been really enjoying it, I was like, I gotta find a fix for the buttons. And as you guys know, I will take everything apart and I will find a way to mess with stuff until I like it. Kind of like with the Pimax that I put a D-pad on it.
Why didn't you use felt tape in there? Someone wants to know.
Because I didn't have any, and the shoulder buttons actually don't bother me as much on this one for some reason. Like they're not as rattly as some other people. Maybe it's the plastic or something. For me, it was just having to repeatedly press on the face buttons and the D-pad was really annoying, because there's no way to do it quietly. It's just going to click, 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 click. So I was just happy it's a really simple fix and that people are liking it.
Well, that's not all, everybody. Also, RG Cube, cool. Let us know your thoughts on it. I, in general, was pretty positive on it. I'm still getting used to this form factor. I think that it's a kind of a funky form factor for PS2, Switch, like higher end emulation is so funny to play on the
You
screen.
can play Switch on this thing.
and which I did Cuphead. I stretched Cuphead. I stretched
Oh.
Rob, I stretched it to 1-to-1. And you know what? It's fun, but it looks a little funny. And so I need more. Well,
heathen.
I need more time. I don't know. Because I could, Rob. I was like, that's hilarious.
That's how you do it. It's just because you can.
Because it's fun to experiment, but I wasn't
next
prepared
time
for that.
Zoom. Do a zoom in.
But people in the comments brought in the logic, like, hey, do you know, for instance, there's more systems that you're going to enjoy in there that stretch well to that aspect ratio. You're going to get less bars compared to like a 16:9 screen, like the Odin, where
it's true.
You're actually going to have on the 4.3 systems, you're going to have way more black bars than you would in comparison to what you can play on this one. Like, and logically, you're like, oh yeah, 1-to-1 technically is the better aspect ratio for all this. It still, to me, is a shift. It's a paradigm shift in thinking about aspect ratios. So I'm glad that these are on the market to challenge us. That's all I have to say.
I know some people are also saying like, oh, this chip is overkill for that aspect ratio in the games you're going to play, but not necessarily. If you think about it, you can use more accurate cores, you can use more demanding shaders and have a better experience with those older games. Like, it's not always about like how high you can push a specific device. Like, if you want something that's going to be 16:9 and perfect for those games, we have a bunch of options. If you want something that's going to be really, really good for like Game Boy and 4x3 and 8x7 stuff, we now have this option. Like, it's a win-win for everybody.
Well, good. It is. And the other, of course, hot handheld of the week is the Odin 2. We talked about this a little bit. Rob, do you want to pull up your video and kind of debut and show people what you got cooking over there?
I don't have it ready, but sure. I'll be
no, that's all right.
Cool.
So Rob, like I was saying, just released a video on the Odin 2 Mini, and I am absolutely adoring this handheld much more than I thought I would.
Same.
I wasn't too big on it, as you might remember just a few weeks ago. I was like, well, we'll see. It's just the Odin 2, but smaller, and it's probably going to get really hot and not comfortable. I was kind of ho-hum. I got it in hands. I started using it, and it was my quick summary of my thoughts on it is just that it's very premium, like AYN Neo premium feeling. And this isn't even the final version. I guess my shoulder buttons aren't quite finalized, but it feels like a real Vita. And I like the recessed concave sticks you get on this. The D-pad has really satisfying pivot. The face buttons they're new face buttons. They're slightly smaller than the Odin 2s. And they're satisfying to press as well. And I noticed in platformers just how easy it was to play Mega Man, just to like do rapid fire. And the joysticks have perfect dead zone. Like, you know, you're not snapping the cardinal directions. That was the big thing. And the biggest thing of all is the beautiful mini LED screen, which I was, again, skeptical on because I think hybrid technologies don't work very well for TVs anyways. And you should go straight to OLED if you're going to do it, or stick to IPS. But this actually looks, the colors and the blacks and everything look really nice.
It too. Yeah.
Really, really, really nice. But you do have some vignetting, which I learned how to say the word vignette during the stream. Vignetting.
I know.
Not
it's
vignette.
The weirdest word.
Vignette, not vignette. Vignette.
You straight up said Bignet, and I was like,
Bignet.
I've been saying Bignet for 35 years.
I know. I posted it, and Rudy was the first one to say, like, yeah, that's what he said. It's like, all right, well, would it be Stubbs if he didn't do that?
A vignette. So the vignetting, yes, it's subtle. It's subtle and it's annoying, but it's there.
Pretty subtle. Yeah, it's pretty subtle.
There's also one thing I didn't talk about much is the blooming, which I was calling glow. So it's like, I thought it was like a romantic kind of like early 1950s film glow, like film grain glow across the screen. That's actually called bloom, and it's part of the technology from Mini LED. And it just, how do I describe it? It's like the original Miu Mini. You remember how the Miu Mini screen, the first version was, and it had that like glow when you booted it up on the home screens. It's that style. And it's that effect on everything. It wasn't a huge takeaway from me, because once you're playing the game, the colors are intense, they're vivid, and the whole thing feels really nice in hand, and it's small.
Is it like a CRT glow?
It's like a little CRT glow, I would say.
Halo. That's what I would.
It's a little bit of a halo.
Yeah.
But it's not fingerprinting too bad for being black, and it's a matte finish. And it's so lightweight that it just feels good in the hands. And the major thing is it doesn't get hot. It gets warm, It gets
it does
warm,
get
mind
warm,
you,
yeah.
but it never gets hot, especially if you make use of that fan. So, overall, like this is going to be like my new Android one and done handheld for me. I'm
Same. I think
Odin
it's
2.
replacing my Odin 2.
This is replacing my Odin 2. That's my takeaway on it.
It also made me realize,
Yeah.
in comparison, how not great the Odin 2 panel is.
And sorry, Rob,
Unfortunately.
I interrupted you, man.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, we got your video here. Ooh, okay. Let's Man, your footage always looks so tasty.
It's so good.
This
I'm over here
handheld
doing
surprised
24
me a
FPS and Rob is
whole
doing
lot
12.
more.
Oh.
Last year, we saw the release of the Odin 2, which set a new standard in the retro handheld space with its inclusion of
So you can see-
cutting-edge Qualcomm
you can see that
Snapdragon
screen.
8 Gen 2. Not content to
Yeah,
rest on
it's-
their laurels,
I gotta say
AYN
that
returns with a
working
new
on this
handheld
video was
that
very
takes the
difficult
power of
because
the Odin
just
2
being
and
able to
miniaturizes
record
it
the
with their
screen
new
properly
Odin
was a
2
very
Mini,
difficult
which
thing
is
to
heavily
do.
inspired by the
It's-
PlayStation Vita,
The
and in
cameras
many
don't
ways
like
feels
the
the
screen, and I'm
successor
trying to
the Vita that we
convey
know
what
and
I
see.
see in
The Odin
person
2 Mini
Right,
still
to the
packs
viewer, and that's
same
such a hard thing to
Snapdragon
do.
8 Gen 2,
It's
but
tough. It
promises
doesn't
to
all
set
pick up on
another
camera.
standard not
No,
yet
it
seen
doesn't.
in the
So
handheld
it was
space,
really
with a
something I spent a
display
lot of
capable
time
of
on.
reaching 1100
Hey,
nits
I have a
brightness
question
with a
since you guys
full
are
LED
hands-on with
panel.
it.
For
When
those
you're
concerned
playing,
with
let's say
size,
in a
this
dark room,
Yeah,
how bright are the blacks on the screen?
almost non-existent. Almost.
Okay.
Wait,
It's
say that again, Aish? I didn't.
So for lately, because I play a lot at night, and lately it's been bothering me when I'm playing something like the RP4 Pro or the Odin 2, where I'm playing a game, let's say the Game Boy Advance, and the black bars, I can see them because everything's off. I can still see that backlight. How visible is it with the mini LED panel on the Odin Mini when you're playing in a dark room? Like, can you still see the black screen, or does it
Oh,
almost like an OLED type deal?
OLED. It's like OLED
Okay.
when it comes to that. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's something I definitely compared a lot. Like when
Yeah.
it comes to that, the
that
contrast.
1,000,000-to-1 contrast ratio. That's what pulls that off.
So good.
Right.
Yeah, they're very good.
And you can put on the extra dim setting in the quick settings, which
Mhm.
gets you that nighttime play, really low brightness, and then it goes up to 1100 nits brightness on the
Mhm.
high end. And so, dude, you can play that outside, the sun, like midday
Mhm.
sun on the handheld, and you can
I have some
still see
footage
it.
outdoors as well.
Mhm.
So yeah,
I used it in the backyard yesterday for the first time,
Actually,
and I was like, "Oh crap!"
I
Nice.
have to go to that spot because I really want to give my dog a little shout out.
Rob, we're just
Aw.
upsetting Aish right now. By the way, why don't you talk crap about it for a minute?
Yeah,
No, I'm sure it's great. I don't know if you remember
There's-
when I first saw it, like on the podcast, I was super hyped for it.
I wasn't. That's why it blew my mind again. Like I always love when that happens. Usually I expect to be disappointed even more than I initially am. And this was one instance where it did the opposite. And so I was like extra sort of hell yeah. All right. Nice job with this one.
I agree. The black is black basically. It's
Yeah.
not in between anything. It's just
Because that's sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold
Aish.
on. I think we have somebody who's here. Oh my god, it's Zoo.
Oh. Welcome.
Oh, hey, Stubbs. Stubbs,
Hey.
I wanted to tell you what I saw at the beach today.
Oh, hey
I
Zoo.
was driving down in my golf cart, and I was blaring Creed on the golf cart because it has Bluetooth. I can do
Yeah.
a review on it if you want. And I saw this crab on the beach. It had one little pincer that was small, and one was big. You know what I call it?
What?
I call him Biggie Smalls. What are you doing?
Oh man, we're just hanging out in the podcast. We're looking at our
Oh.
Odin minis and RGB.
I didn't know it was the podcast. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, yeah.
I was just calling
live.
you.
We're live on the
Oh,
internet right now. So
I
what are
should
you-
have
what are
brought
you
a
doing?
clip.
Hey, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? Can I see your shirt? Can I see? We do.
Retro
you
handheld
got-
merch.
Oh, you repping? You repping?
Yeah. Hey, Rob, can you run my clip?
Yeah, I got you.
I cried out, heaven save me, 'cause I'm down to one last breath. And with it, let me say, you ready, Sophia? Hold me now, I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking, look, maybe 6 feet ain't
And demonetized.
Thanks for the copyright strike, man. That was good.
Well, no, because
Yeah.
I was singing too.
Oh, good.
Me and my wife was singing on the golf cart. Say hi.
Hi, Allison.
Hello. She's
We just
playing the
found her real
Switch.
name. Oh. Hey, Switch. What
don't
kind of
play
game
like
you
that.
playing?
She playing Harry Potter. I got Michelada.
You got your Michelada right there?
I got the Bud Light one.
Oh.
Anyway, I didn't know you were doing a podcast. I don't know what time it is or day it is.
What's the handheld you've been playing the most since you're on your trip?
28XX. I got the
Nice.
830 like day I left, and
Yeah.
the operating system's real bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it has Wi-Fi and retro achievements just don't work. I even put the game
Sorry.
on my 556 to see if
Oh.
it was like a bad ROM. No, it works on the 556. So the 830 it just doesn't work. But the 28XX, I just put in my pocket and go down to the beach. If it gets
Cool.
busted, it's $40.
Oh, nice. Okay. So,
All right. Well, I didn't know I was in the podcast. I'll see you later.
all right. I love you.
Say hi to your mother for me.
I will.
Oh my God.
Okay. So,
Oh, what were we were? I was gonna say something about the mini
Odin
screen.
2
Oh,
Mini.
yeah. What I
Odin
was
Mini.
gonna say that was it's really hard to get back into swing of things now. I was gonna say that's the big thing with all it for me is like how deep the blacks look on the screen, because you
Yeah.
can get some really good looking IPS screens, but then when you start playing something with a dark background, you start seeing that backlight, and it kind of takes away from it once you've played on like the Steam Deck OLED or the Switch OLED. So that's kind of been my concern with the Mini, like how dark does that screen really get? But good to know that it's
Wanna know.
not really an issue.
We need to get Aish a unit. Contact your AYN representative. You tell them, hey,
Stubbs sent you.
Stubbs sent you. Stubbs won't be satisfied till you send Aish an Odin 2 Mini, make him feel alive.
I got really bad, like it puts the lotion on vibes right now.
I know
don't
you
know
are
why.
just. You're just. It's because I'm disturbed. Wah-ah-ah. Wah-ah-ah. Let's move on. Anyways, next in today's top stories is the Modretro Chromatic.
Oh boy.
This is a FPGA from Palmer Luckey, the creator of the Oculus brand and company and VR man.
Yep.
He's making an
Oculus guy.
FPGA metal Game Boy. It's a metal Game Boy, right? Who knows about this? I actually do not know about this topic too much, except I have an anecdote to tell you about it. But
Oh.
someone tell me the specs.
So it looks like the display is a 160 by 144 2.56 inch IPS display.
Same as the Game Boy Color.
Yeah. It's got, hey, it has a headphone jack. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's USB-C out, runs off of 3 AA batteries, but also has a rechargeable one.
Ooh,
Uh,
nice.
Oh, that's what I was looking for. Materials: magnesium alloy, thixo molded shell.
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
It runs on carts, and they're going to be shipping it. I don't know if it's shipping it, but I know they're going to have available like their own like EverDrive cart for your own games.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and one thing that kind of came out after the fact was this. They said that it would be available at some GameStops, which I thought was weird because this doesn't seem like something that would really be sold after the fact.
Have you been at a GameStop lately?
No, actually.
Yeah, they are just
a while.
they're
Yeah.
grasping for straws at this point. Like it's like it's like a Journeys or like a Hot Topic store in there now that sells video
It's-
games.
Yeah. I haven't been
Oh.
in years, but it was already on a decline pretty bad.
Yeah.
when I was last there.
Yeah. It's interesting.
And
It's
then-
this is very yes. Continue.
I was also just gonna say I found out also after the fact that they're partnering with a headphone company to make matching retro style
Whoops,
retro
sorry.
styled headphones with it.
Oh, the cost
Yeah.
branding.
The cost Porta Pros. So if
Porta
you want
Pros.
if you want yellow headphones, now's the time, I guess.
Yeah, I saw those headsets. They're limited, right? They're like some.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they'll be limited with the chromatic.
Okay. Well, I like the colors. I like the color options, and the matching headphones are really cool. The only issue I have, it might be the person who's behind it, Palmer Luckey. I actually got to meet him 2 years ago at CES. He was at the barcade after one of the nights, and Thor and I were shooting the breeze with the VR people there, and Palmer luckily randomly strolls in, gets everybody drinks, and he talked my ear off about this Game Boy Color thing he was doing. Well, first he talked about he had some military contracts and some like VR stuff, which was a little concerning, and then moved and talked about that he's making Game Boy Color, and then he said that he wanted to do a pocketable N64 after that. So we'll see if that happens too. But it was interesting. I was sitting here, I was like, this guy might be super drunk right now. I'm not sure. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. So I invited him on the podcast. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll be on the podcast. We'll talk about it. We'll get you your review units. So I haven't heard anything from Palmer Luckey since that night. Wouldn't you know it?
So is it just me? But every time you say Palmer Luckey, I keep thinking of Arnold Palmer, and I want an iced tea.
You want an iced tea? He has the iced tea vibe, but he was actually super nice, like really friendly, nice to talk to, talked about emulation, and he was coughing a lot, and I got COVID a few days later. So I think Palmer Luckey, the billionaire, gave me COVID at CES.
What if you were the inspiration for this, though?
No, because he already had it. He was already talking about it.
Oh, well, I was going to spin it that way.
Is this video not selling you guys?
We talked about it.
I don't know. It's selling me.
It's in 4:3. It looks like it was shot in the 90s, and he's got a sweet mullet. I mean,
I'm probably going to order one.
The mullet's pretty cool. And he's like really passionate about this too. He was just like, we're going to make the perfect Game Boy. It's got to be perfect. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. And so Palmer Luckey, if you're watching, yes, come on the podcast. Let's talk about this. I want to learn more about this. I want to learn more about that and why we're not doing VR anymore. And maybe if the N64 thing is happening, I want to know what that is. Would that be FPGA? People want to know. So
here's the thing with this one. As amazing as the marketing
COVID though, first please.
Oh, as amazing as the marketing material looks for this, the problem is how expensive is it going to be, and why would you get this over the Game Boy FPGA we already have? That's under $100.
It's tough because this is $200 USD, and they're causing some kerfuffles in the scene because they're saying they're not offering returns very easily. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, no.
And that's going to be tough. And already ASUS is under fire for RMA stuff. So just RMA across the industry right now is getting called out, which is it's time. What were you going to show, Rob?
I was just showing my. I actually finally had a chance to build it.
Built the GBC AMOLED.
So I did the transparent purple, the atomic purple with these kind of cool neon yellow green. It's awesome. But the screen on this thing is so good. I'm like,
it's really nice.
Why wouldn't you
just get this?
Exactly. Why wouldn't you get that? So it looks a lot better. It looks like the original thing. Like, no offense to whoever designed this.
Rudy.
What's it called? What's this thing called? The Modretro Chromatic Game Boy Color. But it looks like something from like My Arcade. Like it looks like something I would find at like Five Below.
Yeah. I'm
sure it's gonna feel better than that, but just the look of it is kind of not selling me. Like there's nothing nostalgic about it other than the shape. So it's just like
it's another analog pocket option. It's $100 cheaper. Well, $50 cheaper, than your average analog pocket. But
and for that, and for that price, why wouldn't you go with a higher resolution screen so you can take advantage of like filters and stuff like that?
Listen, here's the question: did any of you pre-order this?
No,
I have not.
I'm planning on it though, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Well, more to come from this. Thanks for your thoughts, guys, on it. If you're interested, though, you can pick it up in our description at Modretro, which they're taking pre-orders for this now. And more to come. Next up, this is a new one. So we just got word of this from our friend James DeWitts, who knows folks at PowKiddy, and this is a brand new leak. This is a real handheld. He confirmed it. This is a new PowKiddy Mini. Looks very much like the 280V from Anbernic, and
I like this. This looks cool.
no joysticks for once. That'll make people happy who've been doing that joystick mod. And
Look at those purple colorways.
I
Oh,
need it. I
oh,
need
yeah,
it.
there's Aish. There he is. 280V.
Come on,
It's
focus
a
camera.
successor
look
Yeah.
how good that looks.
to the
Man,
It
280V.
looks awesome.
They call it the V10 apparently.
like that.
So there he is, James DeWitt's in the chat saying this is the V10, and we don't know what's inside of it. I'm guessing it's a RK3566 potentially with a 2.8-inch screen. Looks like
That
2.8.
size? Wow.
You have
Similar.
That'll
to
be
that.
nice.
so you just have the D-pad, the face buttons, the shoulders, and start and select. So nice and simple.
Hey, is it me or those shells look a little bit like game console shells? Like the R36S?
A little bit, but not like severely.
It's okay. In a few weeks, it will look like a game console shell.
I want that.
It would be a game console
I
shell.
want that. I want that transparent purple on the right. That's what I want.
I like the black, transparent black with the purple buttons.
That's
Game-
nice too.
Freaking game console.
I think all of them look really good. I
We're
really
gonna-
like the white one. I feel like that one could be modded with like some cool buttons pretty easily. But
PowKiddy's,
yeah,
you know, and they're the clone leaders, but they're the ones blazing trails lately. It seems like, and others are like game console, like you're saying, are cloning them. I'm
Hey,
sorry,
to be fair,
sorry to interrupt you, Aish.
a trendsetter with the T618, and they always kind of
Arcade 3326, like they've been first on a lot of things.
they have.
Mhm.
Well, technically they weren't first with the Arcade 3326, but they were the first to clone it and make a good one.
Right.
Sorry, Odroid, but that wasn't great.
No,
Well,
it was
all right.
there.
Yeah, it was there.
So
I
it's
like
like,
all
Crawled
the
so
colorways.
PowKiddy could walk.
so it's not only this one. And they revealed a second handheld as well that we've now got confirmed, and it is, we don't know the name of it, but it's I believe a 3.5-inch here candy bar, but with, it's like a upgrade to the
Pocket Go.
RGB10. Well, the RGB10 because it has the one stick on the left, just the unistick, and another Cyclops here. And other than that, it looks like the RK30 or RK2023, I think it was. Reminds me of
Gave
that.
me Pocket Go vibes.
Yeah, Pocket Go.
Yeah,
real.
Pocket Go. My big gripe is that the original RGB10 was
RGB10 refresh. He says.
the original one wasn't that 3:2 aspect ratio,
The first one, yeah.
and so it feels like you're almost missing out by changing it to 4:3 if that's the screen they're using this time.
See, at 3.5 inches, I think I would rather have a 4:3 screen than a 3:2, just because it's going to be pretty small, and
Rob, can you
most
say
things are
PowKiddy?
going to prefer that.
Oh hell no!
Come on, let's do our best PowKiddy.
Oh,
Someone's
no.
asking in chat. Come
Oh
on,
no!
Aish, I keep.
I don't even think
interrupting
about- I
your
don't-
Very nice.
I'm not
Nice.
a
Good,
yelling
no.
person. I don't yell. I don't like to yell.
Yeah, same.
My kids get away with a lot of shit. Let me tell you.
They want to hear us do a good old fashioned,
We need to get all Stubbs.
Oh, cuts out entirely.
huh? Did it cut out?
Yeah.
It still did it. The mic's not going to let you do it.
Oh boy.
That's
It's like
unfortunate.
a bird call. It's like a bird call. You can't.
Like that. Like you usually go.
Amazing.
Yeah, people in chat who haven't seen this.
Yeah.
We're,
I think
that's some season 3
yeah,
jokes
that's a
for you.
good time. No, you did
yeah.
it early this season, didn't you? Or was it last season?
Maybe.
No,
That was last
No, that was last season.
Remember,
that's
we've been
right.
trying to we've been
Yeah.
trying to
Or-
professionalize this year.
Yeah, early in the season we had
Yeah.
business suit Stubbs, so no.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Right. I started off episode 1 with the suit, and now we've devolved.
Pretty sure I called you a youth pastor at one point.
Oh, oh
You-
no.
Tonight you also
Dude.
said that I put lotion on the skin. Or
Well,
else you
no,
get
the
PowKiddy
way
again.
with that music in the background, the way you were looking at the camera, I was, hey man, I'm telling you, you were giving me those vibes.
I do have to say, someone in the chat said Wicked does a great one. I agree with that.
He does
You
it.
do. There you go. There it is.
Turned
That's
off. I had to turn on my noise cancellation. There you go, James. That's for you. My family is in the other room, like what in the world?
To be fair, if you told me to put the lotion on, I'd feel totally safe. It's okay.
Oh yeah. Aish,
He just cut out right there.
Let's talk about the next topic, though. You're very good. These will more to come from these. So now we're okay. Listen. All right. So we got to preface this. I went to Computex. I flew to Taiwan. It was crazy. It was 13 hours. Got there, super tired. Went to bed. Got up. Went to see ASUS. Did a day of that. Then I went to Computex for a day. No. Then I had a day off and wandered the city and got lost without a GPS, and I had no data. It was crazy. Anyways, then I went to Computex, and I'm about to tell you about my experiences there. But it was a fun trip, and I have to give a shout out to some other YouTubers who were there with me. Baldly Rudy, sir, thank you so much for your B-roll and your help with my upcoming video. Also there with the Fox, we did a co-review of a few of these handhelds, so I'm going to be releasing that shortly. Thank you, sir, for being a willing participant in my madness. And not looking at the camera over there is ETA Prime, rarely seen on camera, and he'll be in an upcoming video as well. And dude, I have to say, just yeah, he was a cool dude, and he bought us dinners and took us out in the town, and even sent me home with a cat. He got us all souvenirs in the last day, and he bought me this cat, and he said the trip meant a lot to him. I guess he had never been out of the country before and had never gone to a convention like that, so he got out of his comfort zone. And people just don't see him a lot, in the community, and you don't see his face, and you forget he's a person. And then when you see him in person, you're like, oh my god, this guy has a face. He's not a robot, he's not ETA Prime. It was just cool, and so I just wanted to thank him for just being gracious and making me feel comfortable. I was around the world by myself, never been by myself that far away from home before, and those guys just made me feel like family. So shout out to some quality YouTubers, and they're all going to be on the podcast this year, by the way. The Fox will be July 1st. ETA Prime we have scheduled for August 5th. And as well, I'd have to call out Cyber Dopamine, who wasn't in that picture. A nice young man who's new in the niche here, and he'll be on the podcast, I believe, in September. So
very stylish.
I highlighted
he's a stylish
because I'm like, ETA actually will be on the podcast, so that's really exciting news, honestly.
He'll be and ETA wants to play net play with us, and he wants to do specifically. He wants us to do a Power Stone for Dreamcast tournament on the podcast.
Nice.
That's his request. He's like, can we please set up multiplayer net play and play? He just wants to shoot the breeze and just play some games. So
at this point, we can all agree that ETA Prime. So Tech Dweeb is just ETA Prime's alter ego, right?
I think so.
I feel
we just see hands. We see great videos, and he wants to play games on the podcast.
He might have given me COVID, though, or I gave him COVID, so we'll see.
Suspicious, that's all I'm saying. I've never seen ETA Prime and Dweeb in the same room.
It took me all week to realize that's the voice I've been hearing on videos for the last 10 years, and then he's a three-dimensional human. He's a prankster, though. He's a prankster. He was trying to prank me the entire trip. Him, the Fox, and Cyber Dopamine were trying to gaslight me and believing multiple theories and different things. They were so full of joy to do that.
Guys, I'm gonna fangirl like crazy when we have the Fox and ETA on. You have no idea how surreal that's gonna be for me to actually be able to talk to them like that. I've been watching it for years, so for me, it's just I'm so
I just want to talk about an Xbox handheld with the Fox for an hour. If you guys are cool with that.
Super cool guys. Yeah, and the Fox himself, he's a funny guy. He's hilarious, and he's like, I forget none of you know me outside of YouTube. He's like, I don't really talk like that usually, and he just makes jokes. I was like, you guys are crazier than I am. This is great. You got to have you on the podcast.
Are you saying he's not a tech spec savant that just goes off for 40 minutes
he is.
about a script? Okay.
No, he's that also, but it's not his whole focus. So it was just another thing that blew my mind. I'm like, oh, he just wants to shoot the breeze, hang out. It was cool. We had him on the podcast before, but he on the podcast he came to talk about GPD products, and so it was a continuation of his videos, and I'm like, hello? And I felt like we finally met for real on the trip. So yeah, that was cool. So you guys will be seeing content from these gentlemen, and yeah, good times there. But let's talk about the Zotac Zone. All right, Rob, I have to tell you, man, I don't know if you guys were excited for this one, and I was too, until the Fox went in on it, and we did like a little impromptu review, and he showed me all the issues with it. So this is I believe a 8840U AMD handheld with about an hour battery life, 50 watt-hour battery, something. So super lightweight feeling for an x86 handheld. And it has an AM OLED screen, so that's really cool. Hall effect triggers, all the usual bells and whistles you come to expect. 120 hertz display. But the Fox, when I were looking at it, this display actually is only 60 hertz, and it has severe screen tearing. Severe screen tearing. It also is a vertical panel, so all the problems that come with vertical panels come with this.
Do you think it's just a pre-production unit?
It is a pre-production unit, and that's and I defended the thing, and I was like, I think you're being too harsh on it, and he's like, well, they need to fix it. Well, I'm like, all right, and he said the touchpads, they don't work. Correct, they don't work at all. And that D-pad is super clicky, but
I was gonna ask, how's that D-pad
satisfying? But it's like a weird 4-way click, it doesn't feel like an 8-way click. But this is a pre-production unit, and it's going to be a little bit more of a gunmetal gray when it's finished with rose-colored edges. And I did get hands-on with it, and I was hyped on it, though. Like, my first takeaway was, like, this thing could be the best x86 handheld that we've seen if they pull this off right. And there's a picture of me, kind of holding it at the top of that tweet, Rob. And just, I was fangirling over it. Like, I thought it was so cool. It
matches your shirt nicely.
And it was at a nice match to my shirt there, 700 grams. The AM OLED screen was beautiful on it. Boy. I thought the face buttons felt good. The shoulders felt nice, and I didn't even. Out of your shot, right? Oh, here you go.
I was really hyped on this as soon as I saw it.
There's Baldly Rudy's thumbs.
So do you think is it smaller than the Steam Deck? It looks kind of compact there for what it is.
It looks like it's pretty much the size of like the Claw.
The same size.
It's about the same size, I feel like, as the ROG Ally.
Okay. That's interesting.
One interesting thing is that the rings around the joysticks actually turn. They're dials that you set the hotkeys. So they're like a bunch like M1, M2, M3, M4, M5 as you pivot the dials around. Which was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's watch Rudy just. Let's judge him real bad. I wasn't even watching, so no worry here. But
I mean, they picked a great game to show off the screen.
Generation 0, I think it. No, what's this called?
Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Or
no, Rob.
West. I don't know which one.
I'm white and pasty. I'm white and nerdy. Deal with it.
That's always the worst.
Sorry, man. We're just having fun, man.
Especially like when you're putting together a video and you look back at your gameplay and you're like, what were you doing there?
Hey, that's better than I could do. Give the man a break. But so the Fox came away saying this is a 3 out of 10 handheld for right now, and I said it's a 6 out of 10. So stay tuned for that video. It's a lot of fun. As he and I have very different opinions on the same handheld and argue. We politely and hilariously argue for like 10 minutes.
I think there's a lot of positives in it. I'm glad they're using an 8840U and not like a Z1 variant. That's going to be really good for drivers and for eGPU support, because you don't really have to worry about that stuff. So that's really cool.
16 gigs of RAM. What is it? 16 gigs of RAM, 512 hard drive, I want to say. Is that right?
I wish it had more RAM. That's the only thing.
12,
yeah. I think we're kind of getting to a point where 16 gigs for these
24.
type of handhelds, it's just not going to be enough. 32 would be ideal, personally, I think. But 24 is fine.
The staff at Zotac were super cool. They had knowledgeable people, and their guy in charge of this product is really stoked on it. Like, he was really passionate on this, and we will have a review unit coming our way to take a look at when it's ready. So expect coverage from us, and I still think there's a lot of potential there, and then it could be really cool.
What is
So,
the planned
just the
release
Fox
date?
is wrong. You know, he's wrong. He's right, but I think they'll fix the screen. They need to watch our video, then they'll fix the screen, right?
Well, we saw with 1X when you remember the 1X Fly when it was sent out to reviewers, it was a 60 hertz screen,
Mhm.
and then when the retail units were out, it was 120
And it was
hertz.
120. That's probably the
so-
same case there.
Yeah, they probably just didn't have the 120 hertz panel ready to go,
Yeah,
and they were
that's
going
what
to do
I'm
it there.
thinking. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
I
the video
yeah.
starts off with him going, "Look, they're liars," and he shows the
Yeah.
60 hertz on the panel. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oopsie doodle!" Like,
That's gonna be the title of his video. Zotac lied to me.
I was like, "No, man." I was like, "Ah."
the D-pad looks
So
pretty
when are they
bad,
planning
though.
on releasing this though? What's the release date for it?
Oh man. Okay. Stay tuned for my video on it, or
Okay,
read our
okay.
article. But it's slipping my mind. I want to say it's
That's
the end of
fine.
this year.
Yeah, so
I
it's
wanna
still
say
a little
that.
bit early then. So they
Yeah.
still obviously are working on things, which is so hopefully they take in that
Yeah.
feedback and
Hopefully.
kind of tweak some things.
They need to fix
Um,
the battery and
they do.
the RAM amount. Honestly, they
48
should really go for the higher amount. Yeah, 45 watt is just not
Yeah,
enough anymore.
yeah,
Like
it's-
Asus learned that the hard way with the Ally.
The Gamers Nexus coded. We saw the Gamers Nexus there.
Yeah, I saw
Blue and
that.
his luscious hair.
That's
We
really
saw the
cool.
president of Taiwan also just walked through with his entourage. Very short guy, just walking through. Everyone's taking photos. I'm like, who is that? President of Taiwan. Oh, nice.
Maybe he's average height for that part of the world. We don't know.
But there were like 3 times as many people crowding around the NVIDIA CEO and the AMD CEO because
The
they
real
were also
president.
there.
The real.
Never seen. Not even like the K-pop band that stayed in our hotel was getting that much fangirling than I think the AMD CEO.
I mean, it's GPU
Liu.
Jesus, man. Come on.
Yeah, people were just screaming like the Beatles. It was crazy. Just, I guess CEOs of these tech companies are the new rock stars or something. It was wild.
Nvidia is the future. All this while with Nvidia.
I'm guessing so. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I mean-
he was signing women's shirts and below.
Shirts.
The shirts.
He's living every nerd's dream right now.
It was crazy.
Seriously, yeah. I imagine like Nvidia and those companies are pretty much like what Samsung in Korea, where like, yeah, there's like the government and all that, but it's really like the big companies that are running most of the things.
It
Yeah,
was
like
the
in
most
the- in the
wild.
States.
It was the most wild, like free, happy country I think I've ever visited. Everyone was friendly, and they were just partying in the streets every night,
Oh.
having the time of their life. Like, even got offered something that I can't say on camera. We said no. We said no, thanks. He comes screeching to a halt on the side of the road and shows us a lady on his phone. He's like, happy times this way. And, we're just these Americans walking by. And I'm like, no, thanks. And ETA Prime was joking. He's going to get you back there, have you put a blindfold on. It's going to be just him, just you and him. So,
That took a dark turn. Jesus.
and I was like, and they wouldn't let it go. And that's all they
I
talked
mean, might as
for
well.
the
We already got demonetized for this one.
Sorry, Andrew. I know I can't talk about that. Oh well. It's just something that happened, but they're very free-loving culture over there. What do you want me to say? Anyways, moving on to the next retro handhelds news topic. The ADATA XPG Nia is also something that was a thing over
This
there.
thing is
Wait, it's
crazy.
ADATA?
Yeah, it's ADATA.
ADATA.
No. That's how you say that?
ADATA.
Cyber
Yeah, I've
joking
always
was
said
saying
ADATA. I don't know.
ADATA. I heard people say ADATA. I say ADATA.
I say
like a
ADATA.
robot.
Yeah, I say ADATA.
ADATA.
too. They're a RAM company.
Yeah.
They have other stuff too.
I mean, they do other stuff, but that's what I think they started out doing that. So I mean, the name makes sense. But I don't think I've ever heard anyone call it ADATA or that's
ADATA. I always
mean-
say ADATA. I don't know why.
I don't think
ADATA.
I've ever heard anyone call it that.
I guess it's just the case of do you say data or data?
Yeah, I mean,
ADATA. All right. So we've come to the conclusion that none of us know how to say the company's name, but that's okay.
None of us
XPG.
know how to
ADATA.
The XPG Nia, this one I am not as stoked on yet, and it's even earlier prototype. So those face buttons you're seeing are
Are they
very,
3-minute?
I believe so, and they're very
They
flat. They have
look
no
pretty
play.
good.
They have no play right now. No travel really to them. They just are flat, static buttons that don't do much yet. I mean, they play the game, but they said nothing on this is finalized, and they asked our opinions on what should go into the final product. I was like, you guys just please, please get some nice pivot to that D-pad, and I tried to explain the Hadouken tests and stuff we do, and then the face buttons definitely need some depth to them and some pushback, a little bit of play to them.
The screen
showing
is
that.
gotta be the wildest thing I've seen, though.
And the
Like,
screen
the
is
XPG on there.
the screen is a kind of a generic IPS right now, but it does have VRR, I believe. And the shoulders were just, again, early prototypes.
the triggers are amazing.
Well, one thing about the triggers is that it had no, not this. It was on the Zotac Zone. Multiple stages of depression, like a DualSense Edge controller. You can configure like how much they push down. This doesn't. But it also has a kickstand on the back, which when you open the kickstand, this was the one cool feature, is that you have easy access when you open the kickstand to the RAM and the memory. So you can just upgrade the memory yourself, all of the memory. And you can start it out with whatever configuration you want. Since they're a RAM company mainly, you can choose 32 gigs, 64 gigs, whatever configuration you want when you go to buy it, and just customize it. Which I thought that was a really cool and unique thing. So these handhelds are becoming much more like PCs almost, like buy and custom how you will, which is cool. The joysticks were okay. I think they're going to be Hall. He did say maybe Alps. But the one other thing on this unit that was really interesting, besides the fact that it generally felt pretty heavy and felt like a Fisher-Price toy at the same time, is that it has Linux on it. So they're going to run some sort of SteamOS variant by default.
Ooh,
and
interesting.
That is nice. And then it had this gimmick where the screen pivots up and kind of, which I didn't see a use for. I didn't quite get that part myself. It's because you can put it down on the table and then pivot. Yeah, you can pivot the screen up if you want a better viewing angle. I think they could ditch that, and I mentioned that as well, I believe. I don't see the point to that in particular, but maybe there is a use case, though. And people, please let me know if I'm not adequately selling this thing for you. But, if there's a use case for having that screen slide up, and okay.
I think there is, like, because sometimes when you're holding a handheld, like, your hands are going to be more comfortable kind of leaning away from you, but that also puts the screen leaning away from you. So just being able to like prop it up a little bit would make it a little more comfortable. I think the cool thing about this is that they're letting you upgrade the RAM, which is pretty big. And they're also talking about making it to where you can customize your own shells, like 3D print your own shells for it, which I think is really awesome. And I think on one of the videos that you shared, he mentioned that the possibility of like upgrading the internals and taking like just turn it into like just a PC in itself, not a handheld, which I like that they're thinking about stuff like that so that it doesn't just become an obsolete piece of tech.
Yeah, and we'll see, man. We'll see. Rudy's saying that it was super light in the chat, and I think I feel differently. I thought it was really weirdly heavy. But I shared all my thoughts, honestly, right in front of them. I filmed my preview right in front of them and talked to them for a long time afterwards. And I was like, this has the potential to be freaking awesome. And read more in our article, because I'm not adequately telling you guys the details right now. My brain is real bad brain fog today. Brain fog today, and a frog. So I have a video coming out about this that'll share more. But terabyte of storage, 512 option, and the price point for, I think the Zone was 800, and for this one was going to be like 6 or 7. It was their target. So. And this was going to be out, they said, end of this year, or at a minimum at Computex or CES 2025, released shortly after that. So they were the people
so
here were
a long ways out.
They were very receptive to feedback, and they really wanted to know, like, how can we make this the best thing ever? So I know that ETA Prime and the Fox and I, we all shared our thoughts with them, Rudy as well, and they were passionate people and really nice and cool people and passionate engineers. And so if they can pull it off, if they can fix all of the things that are wrong with this prototype, maybe. I believe in the people, but so far the prototype itself was a big thumbs down for me. I was not feeling this one.
Yeah, I mean, even just like as a viewer watching the content and reading about it, it looks very unfinished. I mean, they obviously have
Mhm.
work to do still.
Very janky. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yeah, it was very cheap feeling, and yeah, very early prototype. It was more like they're showing a concept than anything.
I
can
wouldn't
make-
be surprised if this one disappears somehow next year. Like we just don't ever see it again.
just
Maybe
kinda-
like their lead dude on it was very like, this is my sole focus to make this thing happen, and
Ooh.
Yeah.
like he's like, I'm on a mission. I'm gonna, you know, he did say this is like the earliest early. They got these handhelds ready in time for the show,
it looks.
just barely.
Yeah. I hope they
I
do,
think
and I hope they
Band 3
stick. to
printed
it.
it for them the night
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I hope they stick to that idea, because them saying that they want to make it to where users can make their own shells for it pretty much makes it customizable to whatever you want to do.
It's
Like, you can
and that's
upgrade the
fair.
RAM,
They
and
were
if you
interested.
yeah,
And the
and if you can
CPU
modify-
too.
yeah, exactly, and the CPU, and if you can modify the shell, there's no reason why you couldn't make something to fit 2280 SSD or something bigger, that so you're not limited to storage. So I think this could be pretty cool. It's probably
Yeah.
never going to be like a mainstream thing,
Right.
but there's going to be a lot of people that are going to like the idea of having something like that.
Yeah, they seem committed to support on it too, and getting the
Mhm.
software right. It was the software I thought was okay. That part wasn't as janky as I was expecting. Just the unit itself. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, this one, I don't know. More to come, anyways. I had thoughts, but they left like a train out of my brain that way.
Yeah, out of the box.
My thoughts.
Out of the box, this one feels like it, with all of the changing you can make, it's going to be more of like the tinkerer's handheld, even more so than normal.
Even more so, yes. Yeah.
'Cause-
yeah.
Because I mean, just about any Windows device is for someone who wants to tinker, but
It's going to be
changing
the
physical like back itself.
That's
Is
a whole
another
other
step
level.
forward.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
going to be the framework laptop of handhelds.
Ah, now that would be nice.
That's kind of like the vibes I'm getting from it. At least
Yeah.
what they're trying to. It sounds like what they're trying to do.
And I'm curious, like, I know I've seen it mentioned around, but I'm curious if they're going to use that new RAM format they've been that I've seen kind of popping up around Computex. It's the CAM 2 form of RAM rather than the usual SODIMM that we see
Mhm.
kind of put into everything. So if anyone's going to do it, it's probably going to be someone who already works in all of the data, whether that's storage or whatever.
Rob, we're right on time for the dish clanking in the background. Dan, our editor, Dan W.
Just timestamp this. Just
You
timestamp
said
it so
you
we
said it
know.
would happen within 40 minutes to an hour, and there's
It's
the
pretty
clanks.
close. Pretty close.
So Dan,
Uh,
sorry about that. We've tried to seclude Mrs. Tech Dad,
Mrs. Tech.
That doesn't sound right.
Tech Mommy,
We're-
into somewhere, but the clanking, we're greatly sorry. on
I'm
his
still
behalf.
trying to source the clanking. I haven't figured it out yet.
Uh,
Well, is it a ghost? Have we determined if it's a ghost?
I don't know. I
Mm.
haven't been in my crawl space. And
What if
Have you-
like your
I don't
family's
wanna
not
go
even
in there.
your
It's very
family's
hot.
not even home?
Have you checked your walls yet?
Yeah, have you checked?
no, I have not. Do you think I should cut into them?
Yes,
Probably.
immediately.
I would.
right now. Live
There's-
stream it, please.
I
There's a
think it's
lot
the
of
only
space-
responsible thing you could do.
I don't
There's
have
a
a
lot of
blade long
space in
enough
your
to
walls.
do this. I'll bring a machete next week.
Oh, what, you've never punched drywall? Come on.
Come on, man. Come
Just,
on.
I don't have a black belt like you, Aish.
No, just drink up a 6-pack of Monster and you'll be good to go.
Eat your
I
spinach.
feel like I already drank that much today just
Yeah.
to keep me going.
They while I was there, they kind of were getting any YouTubers they could to do like read a message like XPG, get in the game or something, and like do it in front of their cameras because they're gonna make their new worldwide marketing video. And I didn't realize what I was signing up for, so I'm gonna be in that video, like saying some silly catchphrase, and it's gonna be out there. And they said,
Oh.
"Okay, you're all brand ambassadors now." I said, "Oh,
Congrats.
so."
Hey, man, I hope they make this thing, and I hope they do really well, because I would love to see a company not like come out with a device and not be scared of letting users do what they want to do with it.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I was telling the deal, like I'm excited to see what this becomes. Like there is potential. Again, there is potential here, and I can see the passion, and I like that. I mainly like that they're going with the SteamOS option. I'm like, that's going to help you. And right now they're targeting the Z1 Extreme as their processor, or whatever the follow-up is to that. But
they just ship it without an OS.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see. So there was another one, guys. So there's also MSI is back with the MSI Claw 2. We're calling it
Already.
Already.
I'm not
It's
happy
gonna.
about this one.
So this one, the Fox was the most stoked on. He's like, no one understands how cool this is. VRR screen, 8-inch display, running on Lunarlake, which is a way more power efficient CPU from Intel. It's like he says that they're getting it right, and that this is the most exciting thing from Computex for him. It's called the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. So why there's AI in there, I don't know. It's the new jazz hip lingo that every company at Computex was like AI everything. So there was this, and we couldn't touch it. I tried to put my hands under there. She's like, no, and I'm like, but I want to. She's like, no,
that's because that's a backlit sticker, Stubbs. It's not even a functioning unit.
And I was like, I want to touch it. I was like, let me play with it. It's like, no. So I couldn't touch it, but I wanted to. It looks like they improved the D-pad, and the face buttons look like they have a little bit more depth to them. The screen does look nice, and apparently it has an 80 watt-hour battery to match the new ROG Ally X. So 120 hertz VRR screen, 80 watt-hour battery. Let that sink in on a more efficient Intel chip. This might actually be really cool, and the opposite of the Claw 1. They just want everyone to kind of forget.
No, that's why I'm upset.
But that's what I'm upset about as well. The first one should never have happened. If Lunarlake was going to happen this fast, they knew what they were releasing, and they really should never have bothered with it, honestly.
This is not good. It's comfortable. It feels nice, but this is like the chip in this and what they did with this was not good. Like they didn't really support this thing. If you bought this as like a day one customer, you should be pretty upset right now that MSI did that. And I hope that they do some type of trade-in or some type of program to make it right, because it's pretty messed up that we're not even like 6 months in, are we? From the Claw?
No.
And they already did this when this should have been the product they released. This would have been much better. Yeah. I doubt the drivers are going to be any better for actual like game performance, because that's my biggest problem with the Claw. But at least like, you could say, well, it's a bigger screen, it's a better battery, there's like quality of life improvements. That's what I think, and I'm sure Rob agrees with this. Like that's what's upsetting about it.
Probably
they should be putting all in on getting better drivers out for what they have out there right now.
Yeah,
I mean they trickle it out and they update like 1 or 2 games at a time. But I mean,
dude, Ratchet and Clank still doesn't work on the Claw.
Really?
It doesn't. It just doesn't work.
360 emulation on the Claw.
No, like you load up Ratchet and Clank and it gets into like the first like the intro screen, and then the game just crashes and it tells you it doesn't have memory, and then you try to fix it and there's really nothing you can do. And if you look it up, it's a known issue that they just haven't updated yet.
No, Aish, they just want us all to forget. And anyone who bought the MSI Claw 1, they're like, no.
Yeah, like I like MSI.
Is there an upgrade program by any chance?
Hopefully,
that's what I'm hoping they do.
Staff for MSI were pleasant to talk to, and besides, they wouldn't let me touch. I really wanted. I'm like, let me get hands on for 10 seconds. What can go wrong in 10 seconds?
He drops it,
and I just
It's probably not a working prototype.
Probably not. No, it is because they were letting another group play with it. They were letting
just like you.
Yeah, they were letting. I think it was The Verge or Linus. It was one of the. It was one of the big boy outlets, and
the guy that drops everything.
They got to play with it, and they put it behind the glass. And I was like, "Well, can I?" And they said, "Absolutely not. Step away from the booth, sir. Step away." But their brand lady was cool, and we talked about the other one. They showed me the Fallout edition, which they're not even making. It's a cool looking shell, but they're not making it for public usage. It's just there for the show.
Wait, they're not releasing that?
They're not releasing this. No, this is just for fun. And I was like, okay, but all right. Okay. Good. So that's there. No, they didn't believe in my nubs or my vision. It's fine.
And the thing is, even if they continue to support the Claw, like it's still upsetting that they did that, because they're just giving you a better chip in the new model.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause-
gonna run way better. Like the auto TDP adjustment, like the Fox was showing it, is way better on that new chip versus what there's in the Claw. So it just
and that's
sucks
the
all
thing.
around.
Like you got to give ASUS credit. However however anyone may feel about them when it comes to their warranties, support and whatnot, they at least have stood by the Ally. And even the Ally X is sort of a side grade and not a completely abandoning what they've done, the work that they've done with the Ally. So I still think, to me at least, the Ally is still the best Windows handheld out there right now.
Yes, I would have to
It
agree.
really is. Like this, the user experience on this is really good. I was surprised, like how
Well,
easy it is to just navigate everything.
We're about to
without
talk about the Ally more as well. But there's a secret handheld. I didn't get to see this one. They messaged me the day of the show, and I missed it on Twitter. OrangePi, and said, come check out our pop-up booth. And I missed it. So shoot, I didn't get this. But
I know
apparently-
Shem is excited about this one like crazy.
I'm
Apparently-
excited about this one.
I'm excited too, but Shem is like
Cyber Dopamine got to try this out and thought it was pretty cool. I love the buttons and the D-pad. I love it. It looks like my Steam Deck, same like orange you see on my Extreme Rate Steam Deck, and I think it's cool. They're going with Manjaro Linux on here, and it looks like they have touchpads. And this might have been the best handheld at Computex. I just didn't get my hands on it. So there was also like this third-party 6 United handheld that was sold recently to this other company in India that's going to rebrand it. It's just kind of a generic 155H MSI Claw clone. So we don't need to talk about that. It was Fisher Price junk, pretty much. It was a toy. It felt like in all respects.
right.
We're just going to skip over it. It looks just like an Ally, but it has the internals of the MSI Claw. So just realize.
I agree with the comment though. I'm just happy that the OrangePi actually exists. I'm really excited about that.
I don't know specs on this one actually right now. I'm sure others.
7840U.
7840U. Okay.
7840U. I think there was a 32 gigs RAM option, but I'm pretty sure it's like the base one is 16.
Was it?
I know we talked
going to
about
be
it
really
before,
good on this too. Like, was it?
Yeah, like $500 bucks.
$500 or something.
$500.
Stay tuned.
Hopefully.
More to come on this. And then the last one I got hands on with, I'll save this for last, is the ASUS ROG Ally X, and I released a video last week on it. I adored the hardware and the upgrades. They upgraded to an 80 watt-hour battery. ASUS brought us to their world headquarters in Taipei there, and we got to meet everybody, all the engineers, ask all the questions we wanted about all internals of the device. Here I am in one of their rooms there, and they gave us sat us around a table, gave us a spiel, NDA stuff, all that. And then we got to look at prototype models for this. We got to look at all the different button iterations they went through, the joystick iterations they went through, the battery changes. And yeah, there's different fans and motherboards they put together. And they upgraded from a 40 watt-hour battery up to an 80 watt-hour battery. And there's the pillow. And they're doing a revision on the pillow, by the way. I came home with 2 extra pillows.
Nice.
So mission accomplished there. There's some of the molds and shells. ETA Prime's on my left filming there. And then it was it was cool. Like, they were obviously, they're trying to let people know that they're real people, that they're not some faceless corporation messing with your RMAs and your warranties and stuff and not listening to people. So I get it. I got that aspect, but people who are passionate about this and they want to make the best product possible, it seemed like. And they admitted fault to their practices for their warranties. They're going to trying to make improvements there, and they're also extending the warranty for people who had a faulty SD card on their Gen 1 Ally. They're giving them an extra year to report that and get it sent in and be more lenient on their returns, because they know that they're sucking at that. And they said that to us at multiple points. Like, we know we suck right now and we're trying to do better. Please be patient with us. And so that was cool. And the Ally X itself, it feels like an Ally Gen 1, but more ergonomic, rounded edges. The buttons feel better all around. The joysticks are tighter. They're not as loose. Better placement M1 and M2. It has a terabyte of storage and 24 gigabytes of RAM. So with that 80 watt-hour battery, which didn't seem all that much heavier, by the way, because the weight was pretty balanced in the center. I found this to be an awesome hardware, but janky-ass software. So this is an early beta of the new Armory crate on here. and it was crashing on me. Elden Ring was crashing, Armory Crate was crashing, and they said this is again an early prototype, and so give them a few more weeks to iron out the kinks. So they delayed my review unit a week because they want to work out more of the Armory Crate stuff for this version.
It's probably a good move.
Yeah, and so it's just the software is not ready, but the hardware is super solid feeling. Like that felt great. So my takeaway from and Baldly Rudy says Tekken 8 ran great for him when he was there. My general takeaway was that it's a quality upgrade. It's a revision, not a full Ally 2. That's going to be next year. And they talked and hinted at Ally 2. They're asking us, let us know, what do you want us to put in Ally 2? Because we will be taking your feedback directly into that product. And you can say like, hey, I helped make Ally 2. And I was like, that's kind of a meme in our community. I can't really say that. But I was like, that would be cool. So we were all unanimous on, can you fit an 8-inch screen into the same shell? And they're going to try to focus on that. They want to try to do a Linux.
If they do 16 by 10, I think they can.
Ooh, Linux.
Like a dual boot Linux option. And yeah, can they fit it? They're going to try. And they want to try to aim for OLED. But they said they might not get VRR if they do OLED, which was their concern. So they're trying to work on their VRR technology with OLED right now on their laptop line. And they hope to get that worked out. So they want to do an AM OLED ideally. They know people want it, but they went with IPS because of the VRR is just way better. They said you're going to have less flickering issues. It's just, and they can come in at a lower price point. Which the other thing, the price point is raising $100 on this. So realize that. And it's because guess what? They wanted to continue supporting their customers for Gen 1. They're going to continue to release and create the first Ally and support that as its own price tier as they continue to make Armory Crate better. So that's the opposite, it feels like, of MSI, where they're actually caring about their Gen 1 product. And they told me why the SD card has issues, but I'm not allowed to talk about that, I suppose. So I'm not going to. But just they said check out Hackable. There's a Hackable article somewhere that talks about how it's not a heat issue. It's something to do with the undervolting. And so, yeah, anyways, they fixed the controller on the new unit, and so it's not going to have the same issues. That's all you need to know about that. And so you shouldn't expect the SD card to break or corrupt your data. Yeah, that's yeah. They're frustrated too that they can't even talk about it. So we're just not going to dive further than that. But just know they're trying, and they have a cute pillow, and they're making a new Ally X pillow, and that's all that matters.
They also switched the storage size. It's not 2230 anymore. It's 2280. So that's pretty huge. They pretty much looked at all of the popular mods the community has been doing for the Ally and said, we're just going to put it in the new version. They pretty much did what Valve did. Oh, you guys want this in the Steam Deck? Let's make the Steam Deck OLED, and we're just going to give you those features.
And the guys who were on the live stream were there, and they were so embarrassed about that live stream. Like, we didn't want to reveal nothing, but it's just how it worked out, and we won't do that again. So it's like, all right. The general takeaway is, ASUS, you're listening, you're trying. Cool. Thanks for flying me over to Taiwan. I'll talk about the ROG Ally X soon, and it was a good time.
I think one thing people need to remember is that when you look at big companies, it's really easy to say like, oh, ASUS doesn't care or this and that, and we forget that there's departments.
People.
Yeah,
so there's different departments.
I'm never gonna like stand up for like a big corporation and defend like what they're doing. But what I'm saying is like, the people that are trying to make this actually care about making a good product. Just because another department has shitty practices doesn't mean like nobody there actually cares, and you can see with what they're doing.
Yeah, it seemed that way. It was funny, man. They had a 7-Eleven inside their headquarters, which was crazy. Right? There's a 7-Eleven on every street corner in Taipei. There's always a 7-Eleven that was in their headquarters. But it was funny. I was talking to them at lunch, and their product designer for the Ally X, so not all the departments talk to each other. They didn't even know they were making the Tessin. I was telling them about the Tessin that I'm reviewing soon. And they're like, oh, cool. Who makes that? I was like, you guys do. He's like, we make a mobile controller. I was like, yes. What's
going on with that too? I'm supposed to be getting one in the mail. What happened?
It's on the showroom floor. It's right next to the Ally. Like, oh, cool. And they were showing each other like, look at this thing. Like, it's cool. I was like, yeah, you guys are making that. Why do I know this?
Hey, that's how you know they're excited, when they're showing it to each other.
Yeah,
that's the vibe I got from when we talked with them at CES. Like that, the people in like the department for the Ally like actually care about making a good product and making something that people are going to enjoy playing on.
Yeah, I think people, once they get this in hands, are going to be way more stoked on it than they thought. And this is one you're going to start to see positive thoughts on as they realize the SD card issue's fixed, as the RMA practices are improved. Yeah, it should be good, but we'll see. We'll see if the Armory crate's still having the same glitches and issues. When I get to reviewing it, I'm going to have to just say, hey, it's not ready yet. That sucks, but I think it'll get there. So we'll see. All right, guys. Should we pivot into hands-on with the M19?
Yeah.
I
wanna
forgot
know
about
how
that thing.
How is the Cyclops?
All right, let's get my stuff over here. Not going to unbox it because
Can't be any worse than the RGB40.
there it is with its box.
Well, it could be if it didn't work.
I mean, to be fair, some people got units that weren't working out of the box.
Hey,
Okay.
you know, my battery was plugged in, unlike some people's.
Satisfying removal.
The peel.
Oh, the
Cyclops.
peel. Here's the Cyclops. So this is the M19. It's an RK3326. It is a follow-up to the M17 and M18. So the M18 was that mad face game, and the M17 was that PSP screened horizontal candy bar.
It gets
Whoa.
worse.
What's going on?
It has
the more I
flat,
see it.
flat shoulder. This is $50 USD.
Yeah,
But it has
can tell.
flat shoulders and a volume button on the back, which is kind of strange. The battery is
Why?
SJGAM. It's made by SJGAM, and battery is 3,000 milliamp hour. It has a
Oh wow! Somebody in chat just pointed
Wow,
out
yeah,
that the
just
X and
noticed
Y
that.
buttons are flipped, but not A and B.
Wait, what?
it's
Oh, you're right.
BAXY.
BAXY.
Oh, no.
BAXY.
Oh man,
It has a very loose D-pad. There's not a lot of definition to it, so that's going to be a problem. It's just too loose and kind of flat. I don't like that. But the face buttons feel
Terrible.
like the RG405M. Like these face buttons feel really satisfying. It feels exactly like the
How dare
405M. In fact, this might be the 405. They're in the wrong position, sure. Mono firing front speaker and one joystick, which is recessed, so okay. But I played with it a little bit before Computex, and it is a lockdown emulation currently, but I bet we can get some custom firmware going. I don't like that there's very flat shoulder buttons, but the screen doesn't have light bleed that I detected, which is one nice thing. There's no light bleed, and it's a nice looking IPS panel with emulation on here. And the feel, the quality of the plastic, it's a nice matte, transparent plastic, and it generally feels high quality for what it is. So I was actually pleasantly surprised to the point where, like, okay, I think I'm actually going to talk about this in the podcast a bit. I'm not going to make a standalone video at the moment because I just have way too much in the queue right now, but I'll at least show you guys today if you're interested in it. Let's take a look at... We should probably take a look at this D-pad real quick. Does it have Street Fighter? Well, it has a Street Fighter. We'll try this one.
I feel like it's almost necessary for any handheld to have a Street Fighter.
A Street Fighter.
It's just random which one you get.
Right, you don't know.
if you just don't buy this, you don't even have to worry about that.
But at the same time, why not buy it?
That's I don't know.
It's in our
Self-love.
link is in our description, but realize no custom firmware yet that I know of, and it will be locked down. But from just playing what's on here, I was having fun, and I like the weight and I like the size.
It's
And
bothering me that the
Optimal
start and select
because-
are off center because of the D-pad.
Yeah, sure, I know, but one Hadouken, two Hadouken.
He's shooting double Hadoukens.
Yeah, he is for some reason. I don't know
Turbo
why.
mode.
Turbo mode's on, I guess. But the D-pad just is too loose. It's just too loose, and so it's not ideal for this right now at all.
Jeez.
It's just too loose.
Use the stick.
Okay, stick, madman.
I mean,
So,
we
yeah.
use an 8-way stick in arcades all the time.
But what I like is that while these suck absolutely for plate usability and playability, great for pocketability. Why are you laughing at me, bro?
I'm just thinking about the pros and cons right now. Like pros,
I know.
it fits in a
There's
pocket.
no
That's it.
If you really have to keep it around that price, just get an R36S.
Why is this? Yeah, this for $50. There's so many better options out there. I mean,
The
tons of options.
The R36S, absolutely. With how much more development time you have in it, I would recommend over this any
Mhm.
day. If you're a collector though, and you need to have some of these things, I don't think this is e-waste. I just think it's an option for people. If you're particular and you want one stick, you want it up here, you want something that's crazy lightweight and small, it's an option for you.
I mean, the screen looks pretty decent at least. You know, I mean, it doesn't look bad at
The
all.
screen looks and that's what drew me to it, honestly, is the screen has rich, vibrant colors for an IPS. And the face buttons feel really good, even if they're positioned completely wrong.
It's nice that we've gotten to a point where these like bottom of the bin handhelds have nice screens.
I know, yeah.
That's the thing. Like when you think about $50, I mean, again, there are better options to this, but still, just in general, yeah, it's amazing what you can get for $50.
Well, and this is one I want to let my son play with, because here's the cool thing is that it's one of those handhelds that just switches on and off, and that's it.
Cool. I like that.
So you don't have to teach him how to go into the menu and say shut down and all that. So
Stubbs
There
almost
you
had a
go.
blindfolded experience for $50.
You know, no. I don't think there would have been any world where I went up and followed the man on the nice gentleman on the bicycle into whatever alley he was going. But
That's good to know. I'm glad you made it back, Stubbs.
yeah,
So am I.
he's very friendly. Like everyone's very friendly, but yeah, it's I made it back alive. So here I am.
Woo!
I think Ross says it best. I think that's perfectly said. It's bad, but we also understand how good it is too at the same time. Like it is remarkable what you can get for $50 though today. I mean, regardless of how that one specific device
It's
is.
true. Should we move on to the last segment before we get out of here?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Which is we're also going to unbox this 8-bit dough Commodore 64 to match my monitor, which has Tomb Raider Revelation on it today, Tomb Raider
That's
4.
a beautiful keyboard.
And this comes with a joystick, an actual joystick you can use and play when RetroArch games and stuff, and the 2 giant buttons. So it's just like my retro. I've been using my NES retro keyboard for like a year now, and I love this thing. It is my daily driver keyboard. So we're going to see if this one takes it for me. But I've been using this retro one for a long time, and it has 2.4 gigs of wireless, or you can plug in the adapter. I like to have wired. I want to make sure it's always charged, ready to go. So I just keep it plugged in. But let's get this out of the way. Zoom out my camera. I said unenhance.
and before you even get it open, I think this one has a different profile of keycap on it.
Wait, what? It's not. What is it? Blues? Browns?
No. The keycaps are different.
Oh.
They're lower profile.
They're high.
Oh.
I think they're higher.
Oh wow.
So it evokes that similar to a real. I used to have a real Commodore 64 keyboard, and that would be that style.
Just realized
This
that
joystick.
this comes with a super stick in the box.
It does
Yeah.
have a super stick, 87 keys,
that's
ABS
cool.
keycaps, mechanical switches, programmable keys, hot swappable, 2.4 gigahertz. 85HA is the model number. And guess what? We're going to give one of these away. So AKNES, the brand who sent this over, they're the rep for 8-bit dough on Amazon, and Ghoulie Kit and Retro Flag, and they, much like our recent controller giveaway, gave us one of these keyboards to give to one of you. And same rules as before, they're in our description. Just have to like this video, comment on this video, and then join the AKNES Discord if you're not there already. Make sure to leave your Discord name in your comment on our video here. Not in live chat, but leave the comment on our actual video after the live stream is over to enter this contest. And then, yeah, get yourself, it's going to be randomly selected, and I'll pick a winner. Next week, we're going to reveal, and you're going to get yourself one of these badass keyboards. They go for $109 USD, but if you use the link in our description, they are $10 off. So there is a 10% off coupon that you can clip on Amazon. So take a look at that, and it's $100. And I bought this first one. I just adore it. So I was about to buy this, and then Jim, the AKNES rep, is like, he's like, no, let's do a giveaway. I'll send you one to look at and unbox, and then we'll do a giveaway. And I said, I won't argue with that, sir. That sounds good.
Yeah, I think I saw in the chat, Matt is right. I'm pretty sure they're SA profile keycaps.
SA profile?
Yeah.
So they're Mexican?
No, they're just taller.
Yeah,
Aish.
definitely not Mexican then.
Can't take you anywhere.
I mean, you'll figure it out when you get the box open, but
Yeah.
Rob, you're gonna get the super stick and you're gonna print a giant NES controller, right?
There's already a light turned on here.
It's been listening this whole time.
Oh, no.
They're stickers.
Ooh. Matt says they have another design coming out.
Yeah,
They
the
do.
it's already on the AKNES Amazon page, I believe. Oh no,
Ooh.
not yet. It's
It's
just
not, nope.
Oh, I love the height of the keys. Dude, that
Yeah,
is like a
it's
real
so
Commodore 64. Look at that. Look at the height of these keys. Oh, that is so nostalgic. Oh, look at the color. Look how dirty, ugly beige this is. That's just like my monitor. Look at that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Get the hell out of here, NES keyboard. Let's compare. Are they any different sizes? Oh, it's a little bit thinner. A little bit, yeah. This one's, the NES is a little bit wider.
yeah. I think if you hold them both on their sides, you'll be able to see the like thickness difference.
The thickness.
The thickness.
The thickness.
Real thick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's real thick. She thick. She thick, everybody. She thick.
It's
Man, it
not
looks
even
good,
a
though.
it's not even a thick with like C's.
There you
It's
have.
with THIQUE.
If you want to go wireless, here you go. I'm going to plug it in. No, I don't want to plug. I don't want to mess up the stream. But
I really like what 8BitDo's been doing with their keyboards.
let's type on it. Okay, hold on. You got to hear this.
Get the mic in there.
I got to turn off my background noise here. Hold on.
What kind of switches is it?
I think it's the
Ooh.
Kale box whites.
Oh.
Are they box whites or just normal white switches?
Okay, so here's the NES. Son of a...
Give them a second, guys.
Can you hear that?
Yes. Oh, I like that better.
Yeah, they're gonna sound different just due to the fact that the keycaps are shaped differently.
Those sound more thocky. The other ones sound more clicky.
Yeah, they're thocky. They're thocky.
Thocky.
We're
Thocky.
thocking.
I'm gonna start
We're
using that in
thocking.
my reviews.
Thock.
Thocky. I like that.
We're
Thocky.
thocking. We're thocking.
Thock.
I like that.
He's thocking over here.
I'm
guys.
gonna go find the thockiest handheld.
We're thocking.
Versus the clickiest.
You
Yeah.
mean the RP3?
Hear that thock?
Thock. I like that.
He's thocking.
I'm just talking about it. Okay, so
She thocks.
we talking. So if you want if you want this, enter our giveaway, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to our channel, join their Discord, get a C64 keyboard. Looks frickin' sweet and nostalgic. And that's not all. Wait, there's more.
He sounds so far
I was
away.
gonna say, when do we tell Stubbs that he's not on the right mic?
Now.
Welcome back. My voice
There you go. There's that sexy
He's
voice.
back.
Now, it also has
Oh,
Them buttons.
you can program these buttons, the big giant buttons, and play your
So you
guitar.
could slap those buttons, man. You gotta
Hey,
slap.
you're kind of
slap.
cutting out, by the way. Your mic sounds funny.
Excuse me.
There you go. That sounded better.
Huh? Oh, it's just readjusting itself.
Okay.
No worries, Aish. Well, should I worry? Let's see. Let me check my settings.
You sound fine now.
Okay. Thank you. There's stickers.
404.
Fun stickers. And my favorite, which I can't wait to play with this, is there's a joystick that it comes with.
I like the stick.
I know what I'm hooking that thing up to.
Your mom?
Oh,
Sorry,
No.
I had
It's
sorry.
too easy. Too easy.
Sorry. I'm 15 forever. Okay, so look at this.
Oh,
Oh,
is it good?
oh, the pivot. The pivot. Oh,
he's
the
feeling
pivot.
he's feeling good right now.
Oh, this thing's getting hooked up to the C64, yo.
This is so nice. The pivot.
I really hope.
Look at him handle that joystick.
Oh, he knows how to handle it. I really hope they bring the like standalone extensions to the AKNES store on Amazon, because if they
gotta hear
do, I will be buying every color of button.
You gotta hear this.
Aish,
guys.
you know what to do.
Oh yeah. And screenshot.
You hearing that?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Oh, I got some good ones out of that one.
Of course you did.
Yeah, that is satisfying. Oh my god, I can't wait to hook this up and play actual Atari games on my monitor here. And sorry, I'm giddy about this because I have a certain nostalgia for the Atari 400 beige.
Your audio's dying again.
I'm back. Here I am. Hello?
Hello.
Yep.
Okay.
Hi.
Listen, I have a nostalgia for like the Atari 400 and those joysticks. So I never had a Commodore 64 growing up, but I had one later in life, which I had fun with, and I've loved the CRT for years. And so now this I can put over there, and it's gonna. Is it the same color? Hold on.
Oh, he's checking.
Oh, that's important.
It looks close enough from a distance.
It
Yeah,
does.
from over here.
That looks like it's part of it, yeah.
Yep.
Dudes.
Dude.
My dudes. It's the
Dude.
exact same hue as the CRT. It's the same
Oh,
hue. It's the hue.
Hugh.
100%. That is the freaking coolest thing, and it actually fits across my shelves like that.
It looks like it's the same width, like just about.
I think it might be.
It looks like it belongs there.
Like it looks like a perfect fit.
Oh, dude, Matt's right. Imagine putting like a little mini PC behind that where you can't see it. You just
It's-
run it off of that.
It's the same look as my Metroid 2 cart that I got in
Wow, you
Taiwan.
smoked a lot around that.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
this was $2, I think, and that's the reason why it's
Wow.
in rough condition.
$2
that's
for
just-
Metroid
you can-
2.
You can clean that up though.
This is steel.
Yeah.
Oh, it's moving.
See, products like this is why I like 8-Bit Do so much. They do such a good job of bringing like modern features and keeping that old like classic feel with their products, like their controllers and their keyboards.
Wait,
That
I
is
just
down.
realized, has Stubbs been standing this whole time?
Yeah, I've been
Yep.
standing the last few episodes.
Oh,
Oh,
I did not notice that.
Also picked up,
Mystic Quest.
picked up Mystic Quest when I was over there, and Captain Skyhawk.
Nice.
Oh man, look at that
Nice.
label. Look at that label.
The NES label era
Yes,
was
that was
crazy.
great.
Dude, it was,
Mega Man vibes right there.
yeah.
oh wow.
I love this game. I beat it recently, and it was 650 Taiwanese dollars, which ended up being like a few dollars. So
He checks his bank statement. It was like $500.
Yeah, close enough.
Anyways, if you're interested in this keyboard, enter in and get it because it's so cool. Get that monitor too. That's a Commodore 1702 monitor. I'm gonna build like a little retro space over there with that keyboard. I'm gonna do something with that. That's gonna be.
Yeah, dude, that's what Matt was saying. Like, put a mini PC behind that monitor with that keyboard.
I need the AYN Neo mini PC. That'll match. That'll be the final part of this whole equation. Yeah, Aish.
Yep, this is going your way. I just
I want it.
Stateside.
Yes.
I guess it could be a little darker to kind of match the theme, but this would be pretty sweet.
If you can like just smoke like 10 packs of cigarettes,
sure,
right on top of it.
Set up DOSBox on there. Have a good time.
Amazing. Okay, so that's what we got, everybody. Oh, also before we forget, it is Game of the Month time right now. So I don't know if Rob, you can pull up our website. I believe we should have Game of the Month for June, which is. Where is it? What?
It's just
I'm just chilling here. Just
oh,
there you go. Yeah, I love it.
Hey, Aish.
I don't see it.
Do we not have it? Well, I'll just announce it anyways.
Try to find it.
Aish, you got the best screenshots.
No, I can't find it.
So just think about what I did with the Genanimal's pickle picture. Possibilities, man.
Oh, Anbernic just wrote to me saying that they're going to send me the retail version. They have fixed the Anbernic Cube, and they're going to send the retail version. They sent me the bad batch by accident, and they're sorry.
I was wondering because I got a message too, so I didn't check it yet. But
yeah, I think they gave me the bad batch too.
They realized, oops.
I wonder what I got. I guess I'll know tomorrow.
Oh, and Nicole just got back to me too and said the shell on the Odin 2 Mini is the final version, but the buttons are not.
Well, tell her to stop ignoring me.
Does your shoulder buttons?
Talk to
Stubbs, look inside your shoulder buttons. Can you see does it look like it's cracked in the crystal or anything like that?
In the shoulder buttons?
In the shoulder buttons, yeah.
I've been DMing her. Please,
please respond.
Aish has been in her DMs.
Notice me.
He slid right through them.
Wait, Rob, what's wrong with the shoulder buttons?
Left.
Yeah, she's just been ignoring me. Come on, I want to cover the mini.
I'm talking to her about that right now, Aish, actually. Hey, would you be cool releasing, sorry, this is on the fly and we're live, but would you be cool releasing your video both on your channel and on our channel?
That's what I was going to do.
I think that's what she's kind of asking right now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
So I guess the positive here is that I'm assuming it didn't go out to anyone as a customer. There are no retail units that went out. So at least that's a positive. So hopefully no one on the retail side will get those screens.
Yeah, I really hope anyone who's getting a retail unit does not get what I got.
I actually
I'm afraid to turn mine on.
I kind of hope I get one of the bad units now just to see if there's any mods to fix it in case anybody has that issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a shame too because I'm like,
yeah,
all these review units now. I'm like, so now what? No one. I mean, it just feels like such a waste. Yeah.
Well, if you happen to get a good unit and it's not a bad color, I guess we can always swap so you can still do your mods.
If I get that purple one, I will, and it's a good unit, I will trade it with you, no problems. I really don't want that purple one. Oh, by the way, now that we have I keep forgetting I need to mention these. So for anybody that has a Steam Deck OLED, I've been testing out some Holophix sticks. I know Gully Kid's coming out with a few. These I got from, it was from 1X. They sent me these to try out. These are just prototype units, but they're pretty cool because they're matte, so they don't really stick out and they're grippier. So I will be putting a video about these on RH because I did the original Steam Deck ones over there. So I think it would only be good to cover the OLED ones there. Super easy to install. Literally, you drop them in, you press a button, and you're good to go. You don't even have to go into like terminal or nothing like that. So recommend them, and I'll be
Nice.
covering them hopefully this week. The video will be up on RH.
Well, that'll be cool, man. And I hope your cube is from the good batch.
I do too, but if I get a bad one, at least it gives me like an extra thing to talk about, because I would like to cover that screen and see if there's something that could have been done. But I'm glad Anbernic fixed it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Lightbleed people are saying that's a good band name.
Handheld DIY. Sorry,
be
it wasn't.
The Lightbleed. I
So
like that.
this is
That's
the box for it. So no, it's not 1X. I apologize. It's Handheld DIY.
It is a good band name.
Dude, I've been responding to people. Anyone asked me a question in the Discord in the last 24 hours, I just responded to them with me playing the guitar, like singing back to them what their question was. That's been. I was gonna do that on the podcast tonight as a joke, but the mic is not picking me up very well when I play guitar on here.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, so we do need to start the RH band. It's true. The Lightbleed and the Darkbleed will start two competing bands.
I
mean,
no
yeah,
musical palettes, so
We kind of have too many bass players in the
Drifting
Discord.
sticks. It's okay.
I can have my son do some of the.
Yeah,
some
your
of the
son.
music.
Rob
Yeah,
will play the
that counts.
percussion
That
with his
counts.
X55.
That counts. All right, everybody. Well, we're getting to be that time, and I want to. That's right. I was going to announce the games of the month.
Oh, and
So
but
do your job, June. Yes, Ban.
oh no, you can finish.
You know I will. Let's see.
60% of the time, he does every time.
Oh,
Ha ha ha. Okay. Here's the. I'm loading them up. We'll give me one.
It's an
Oh,
anchor
stand
name,
by.
Come on.
oh,
So-
Really, Metroid 2 1?
Metroid 2: Return of Samus actually won. Half-Life, or the original Half-Life.
I thought Ace Attorney won.
And
the
nope,
heck?
we got Half-Life and Advance Wars for Game Boy Advance is our third
so
game.
happy about Half-Life.
Right?
I'm gonna finally play it.
Now's the time to play it. I want to do the VR version.
Ooh,
That'd be fun. And Advance Wars is a classic. 60 or 15 hours for that, 12 hours for Half-Life, and 5 hours for Metroid 2, which I haven't played since I was like 8. So I'm excited to. I actually want to play that. Aish says it's bad, but Aish might be wrong. We'll see if nostalgia holds up
Look,
on this smoky cartridge. Playing
it's
my GBC.
not bad
emulator.
for a
What?
Game Boy game. Okay.
Oh,
I'll
not
give
bad
it
for a
that,
Game Boy game, sir.
but it's not a good game.
Well, we'll see about that, sir.
and in semi-relation to Game of the
I'll
Month.
say, what?
Ooh, in semi-relation to Game
Wow,
of the
wow, wow.
Month, there's also Handheld of the Month.
What's Handheld?
Yeah.
This month?
It's Clamshell Month.
Oh, it's clamshell month. Show me those
It's
clams.
clamshell
Show
month.
me those clams. We got
Right.
yellow clam, green clam, gray clam.
V90, Game Boy Advance SP,
Oh.
35XX SP.
Oh.
So you could actually play all 3 Game of the Month games on these 3 devices specifically.
Oh,
Metroid 2, Advance Wars, Half-Life through Portmaster.
nice.
Nice.
Oh, we got a crossover month.
We got a
Ben,
crossover
I just
month.
I just want to say that I'm very
the
happy
man.
that you took over Handheld of the Month. That was my
I'm happy
baby
it
when I
still
started
goes on.
RH. Yeah.
Well,
Good job.
I'm still working out some of the kinks, trying to get it a little bit better, but we're getting there.
It's a process, man.
I think
Dan?
we need to combine Handheld of the Month and Game of the Month some more, honestly.
Yeah, that would be
I
awesome.
think so too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And as we get out of here, what content are you guys working on right now? What's the next video we can expect from you, Rob?
I was going to work on the RG Cube, but if they're sending me out a different unit, I guess
gonna
I'm
wait?
holding off on that.
Okay.
I
More
don't
to
know what
come
I'm doing
from Rob.
next.
Watch Rob's
I'm gonna
Odin
spin
2
the
Mini
wheel.
video. Go watch his Odin 2 Mini video. That's what you got to do. Spin the wheel, have fun. Aish, what's your next piece of content?
I have
Go
a few
on.
things. So I mentioned that there's going to be like a quick stick video. That really
Yeah.
should be like under 10 minutes. There's an eGPU video that I'm going to finish up in the next, hopefully tomorrow that'll be done. And
Nice.
then the 2 big ones I'm doing the RGB20 SX, because that thing blew me away. The way Go Game Geek sets it up is the best Game Boy experience I've ever had. And RG Cube, because it just showed up. So a busy
Nice.
week. I have
Busy
a lot
week.
of catching up to do.
Well, excited for your content on that. And yeah, catch up. It's a bear. It's a beast. I've been trying to keep up as well. My next thing is going to be probably the Computex coverage stuff. Go more in depth on that. And then the
Nice.
travel log video.
That's gonna be fun. I
and
can't
that'll
wait
be
to see that.
so. Yeah, so the travelogue video is a day in the life in Taipei with me and ETA Prime and Baldly Rudy and Cyber Dopamine and the Fox. And I follow ETA to a shoe store and he buys some Nikes. He's really into rare shoes. So we went to like all the Nike stores around town to like find these rare shoes, which that was an adventure. We went to an underground mall, went to a retro store, got some food, and then went out in the night market and found like street dancers. And I was actually in a street show, which is he's like, "You, sir," and I had to hand this sweaty dude bricks, and he's like doing acrobatic stuff, and it was crazy. But that'll be a fun video.
I loved your room tour. That was awesome.
Yeah,
The room tour.
The studio or
Oh, my
Your
studio
studio
tour. Oh,
yeah, your
right
studio
before
tour.
Right before I left, yeah, I did a studio tour, and that was kind of fun. Real off the cuff stuff. Oh no, Aish is dead.
oh
Oh, he's back. Okay,
back.
good. Ban, and what's your next article, man? What
uh
are you doing?
this week is my handheld of the month article, so I'm talking about clamshells. Cube is the next one.
Slam it up.
and
Give
then-
me those cubes.
I'm tempted to kind of take a look in
Ooh.
the back. I've had this WikiPad 7 here this whole time. I'm
Nice.
tempted to pull that out and just kind of do a how far Androids come.
And apparently how far D-pads have come too.
Yes, apparently.
It's got the worst D-pad I've ever
The D-pad on this is kind of like the shoulder buttons on the R40S. It doesn't move. So I've got a couple of things that I'm working on right now. Yeah, the R40S.
Hey, at least
Why
at
did
least
you guys
mine-
buy that?
I
Oh,
blame,
the
I don't know who I
R40S.
blame. I
So
blame
Zoo-
Ban for this one. Is it Ban's fault this time around?
This
Zoo
one's
has
my
a
fault.
Yeah, it's Ban's fault.
Zoo has a video out. This is a new 1-to-1 aspect ratio by Game Console, and Zoo hates it. And his video is just the thumbnail. The preview I saw in our YouTube studio is just a thumbnail of a trash bag. So we'll.
Look at that. He's confused. He doesn't know
We'll
which
see.
way it's up or down.
I
Makes it
didn't
that stupid
buy
thing.
this one, but apparently it's not very good. So
I said it in Rob's channel on the Discord, but this one, it looks like it's upside down all the time.
It just looks weird, man.
But like,
The
if
color's wrong too. It looks nothing like it's supposed to.
it doesn't.
No.
It's probably the lowest of the low for the square screens
Oh, easily.
because its stick is on top and it should not be there.
When I have to do a teardown to actually fix something, that's never a good sign.
Before, well, at least was your battery plugged in?
not
I hope-
great.
Mine was, yes. Not Andrew's though.
Yeah, mine was too.
Well, good. More on the R40S soon. Watch Zoo's video. He gets very upset. He gets very, very upset.
I'm excited.
I think that gets dropped tomorrow, I believe, or Wednesday. So
Good
be
Wednesday.
good.
Yep.
It's Wednesday.
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 Okay, Wednesday. All right. Well, people were asking what was my favorite handheld at Computex. It was the ASUS ROG Ally X. It's the most put together. It's 80 watt-hour battery. I mean, come on, let's go. It's the best Windows handheld with the new iteration, and they'll get there. So I think. And the Steam Deck, of course, is still the champion overall. Yes, correct.
It's just turning into Shem over here.
It's
Oh,
just-
well-
man.
Guys, anything else you want to rant about before we get out of here?
No,
Wow.
I mean, well, we're probably already demonetized, so you might as well go for it if you have something you want to rant
We push the envelope every week.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. So we'll see what this week gets us.
Next time Rob gets canceled. Sorry, guys.
Well, everybody, thanks again for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your weekly dose of handheld news. And a special thanks to our guest, the love between the three hosts. Check us out at our various places. And a special thanks to our channel members, patrons, and subs for making this show possible. Perks with RH start for as little as $3 a month. Don't forget to check out all of our various other videos. Join us on our Discord to chat and play games. And join us next week where we're going to be chatting with Team Pandori, I believe. Yep, Team Pandori. So Tim from
Oh,
Team Pandori.
yeah.
will be
Yeah.
with you.
Yes, we're gonna
That'll
go on a
be good.
7-Eleven tour. I can't wait.
Another 7-Eleven tour, man. It's
Apparently,
going to
7-Eleven
be...
is big in Asia.
It's gonna be
Oh yeah, it's amazing too.
it's gonna be good. And then Matt HM on June 24th.
Ooh,
And July
that'll
1st,
be
we're
good.
gonna have the Fox on July 1st, Tech Dweeb
Wow.
for D&D round 2 on July 8th, and many more to come. ETA Prime on August 5th, and Cyber Dopamine in September. So as well as all the other guests, I'm not gonna read them all off right now.
I can't wait to have Matt out here, man.
Matt's a cool dude.
His
Man.
videos are
Such a cool dude.
ridiculous.
He just sent me a camera track rail thing that like
Nice.
slides the camera along your desk.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna play with that and see what kind of trouble I can get into. But yeah. As always, everybody, this has been Stubbs on behalf of Rob, Aish, and Ban. Take care of
everyone.
those handhelds and each other.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.